Welcome to Tlakas Tavern.
We are live.
He ran out.
You didn't know that.
Welcome to Tlakas Tavern.
We are live on our visuals.
Welcome to Tlakas Tavern.
She waiting on you.
Oh shit!
No, I'm not.
Welcome
Childish.
to
Well, they could play. It's like, hey, let's get it going. Let's get this indeed running and going.
Ready? And welcome to www.love2jamradio.com. Welcome to the Tlakas Tavern Show. And we have a special guest today to my right. Will is in the house. Oh! You gotta do a little better than that. Hello, how are you?
That's who he is. So wait. Let me get myself together. Good evening and welcome to the Tavern.
That was straight right in Dangerfield. That was straight no respect. I was waiting on the no respect.
Yeah,
No
so
respect.
let me put my best airs on for today.
And the hostess with the mostest is Talaka Faces.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Mr. Crosby. See you. Oh, you got one more?
Yeah, I gotta introduce the queen.
Oh, she ain't my shit.
The queen with that dope fro on 420.
Hey,
The dope fro. Lovey is in the building.
ain't shit.
A hard crowd, boy.
What? A hard crowd. Shit.
Hey, this is the Tavern. We speak our mind. We say what we talk about. What we want to talk about. We speak our mind. It's no holds
I'm
barred.
pretty sure by the end of the evening it's gonna get a
Oh,
little easier.
A little
easier.
a little ratchet.
Look, I'm putting on my best airs because we have guests.
Indeed, we have guests.
He ain't no guest. He family. He
You know
good.
that don't
He
work
good.
that
He good.
Well, I'm trying it anyway.
He good. He a motorcycle. He straight.
I don't know what to. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all have to explain next.
Psychos are in the building. No need to
Well,
explain.
one of the big things I guess you saw where Derek Chauvin was guilty of.
Man, we finna get to that. That's the. So I'm on the fence with that. Okay, yay, they found them guilty. 1, 2, 3. I don't care about that. I want to see the sentence because for me, I want to see if they gonna find a way to get him out. That's what I want to see.
Well, as with everything, they're gonna. They're already talking.
They already working. Exactly.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I was looking at it today, and I'm like, I didn't get excited because they haven't put the sentencing down.
That's it.
And so I'm not excited until
The sentencing.
the sentencing. And then I saw something about Maxine Waters was talking too much, and they can appeal something.
Okay, so I did some digging
Help me out
because
with
this is where I stand on that because what they're
You
saying
gotta
is
tell
that
people what the situation is.
yeah, they saying that they did not sequester the jury like they were supposed to. So the jury had access to media and all these other things. Although once you say you're going to be a part of the jury, that you're not supposed to listen to all of those things. Now I'm gonna tell you, as a civilian who is very interested in this case, I managed to stay away from a lot of it because I didn't want to be impartial about it. So if I can do it, the jury surely could do it because it was their civic duty.
Okay, hold on. How can you be impartial about watching somebody be murdered? Everybody was the jury. Like it could have been
No,
anybody. Everybody was the jury because it was undeniable about what happened.
but everybody don't feel that way. See, it just so happened, and I'm friends with a.
Well, but you can't unsee it. When they tell you, be objective, don't let this affect your what you're thinking. It's impossible. There's no way to do it, but you can act like and tell the judge, you can act like and tell the prosecutor, okay, we understand that we're not supposed to have any type of bias toward what we just saw or what we just heard.
But you have to understand, some people don't see anything wrong with what they saw.
I understand, and that's the problem. It is no way you can get around it. Now, if a jury was really sequestered off into a hotel and they had no media, no TV, and everything else. Still, somebody's gonna find some way to get your information to you.
Right. So what they're saying is that because what they're basically saying is that Maxine Waters made a statement along the lines that the jury better find him guilty, and basically what they're saying is that some of the jurors may have felt threatened into giving a guilty sentence,
Which is some bullshit.
exactly.
But supposedly, they aren't supposed to be watching any news media.
That's what we just
any
were
of that,
saying.
yeah. Supposedly,
Well, I think the judge actually said you have influenced the jury by your statement, saying that basically said if he's not found guilty, we need to either
escalate this.
circle the wagons. Y'all need to get it down and find out how y'all feel about it and see what we're going to do about it. He was feeling like it almost. I think one of them said she was almost on the cusp of inciting a riot, which was a kind of strong term, and I think everybody finally thought they were like, okay.
The riot was already inside on June the 6th, or whatever date that was, by our prior president, and people are still recovering from those shenanigans. I don't care what Maxine Waters said. Again, if I know that I'm on this jury, once I start to, that's just like, when you raise a certain way, your mama tell you when you start hitting the bullshit, it's time for you to turn around and get away. If I'm on this jury, as soon as I hear anything related to it, it's time to do if you're going to do the right thing. Everybody wants to talk about doing the right thing. The right thing is to remove yourself from those circumstances.
Have you ever been on the jury?
No, and I don't know. No.
Never.
And let me tell you why. Because I know to a certain degree that I'm going to be impartial.
Yeah, me too.
So
it's a waste of my time.
They're not going to get what they want from me.
I'm not going to even get picked.
You gave the answers that you knew were.
I gave my truth in my answers.
Yeah, never got picked.
And that's what it is. I gave my truth.
I've never been on one. I think I got past the first. First choice. Made it to the second.
It's so sad. We got 3 people here that have never been on the jury.
Oh, I didn't ask.
Well, number 4. We have 4 people who have
you ever been
never been on the jury.
I have.
What?
I have.
I know you said guilty.
No, actually, I was rejected.
What?
Because the person was a veteran, and I was serving at the time.
You made it onto the jury.
No, you didn't make it.
Yeah, I got
taken off.
Yeah, I was taken off the jury.
What?
Because I just how the lawyers do.
Yeah.
She a veteran. Get her out of here.
Go. Wow.
So
They'll do that shit too. They pick the juries very strategically.
Yeah.
Because it's the other person, the prosecutor, who picks them.
Right.
So, this jury was supposed to have been 6 white people, 6 black people, or people of multi-race.
2 multi-race.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know there was 2 multi-race for sure.
Okay, so then that would be part of the black. They
had it separated. It was like 4 black, 2 multi-race, and 6 white people.
That's what I'm saying. That's the 6.
Yeah.
They fell on the black. They still fell on the black.
Well, I was kind of like, you were talking about, I never... After you knew that he was going to trial, I just, you just get tired.
You're right.
You get tired of
I blocked it all out.
Just wait for the outcome.
Yes, but I did.
I did not know the makeup of the jury.
I totally stopped watching.
Well, once the verdict came in, that's when I started doing my digging. Because for me, I wanted to. I'm like you. Once I heard it, I've heard enough. It was on there. The only thing I did catch was part of the testimony from the 911 operators. And as they were providing testimony, and as the witnesses started providing
40-something witnesses.
Yeah, they started. The people out there started doing their testimony. I had to turn it off because I got so pissed off. I had to give my own self a headache because you had a minor, a little 12-year-old out there that witnessed this mess and knew. And you got another man out here say, "I'm calling the police on the police." How you call 911 on the police?
Well, why do you think this time that the public and white folk, why do you think this hit home with so many people?
Because it was a live play-by-play. It's one of those things that it's just like you can't. no matter how hard they're trying to deny it and clean it up, you can't deny well they can.
But we've seen some live
We-
play-by-play before.
but-
Why do you think this one
because
shook
this is
people to the core? Even
because-
white people.
the reason why. I think because it was so long, it was so drawn out. 9 minutes of this man begging for his life. 9 minutes of people on the sideline begging, let me help him. I'm certified in CPR. He's telling you he can't breathe. If you hear a grown man, when a grown man say mama, you know it's a whole nother issue.
That's what that means.
Yeah, when you saw conflict, and so that's what told everybody up. They could see it. They literally
That's
watched.
when you knew he was slipping away.
Right.
That's when you knew.
You watched this man, you watched the light of this man's whole eyes. You watched everything go away. We watched this man urinate and defecate on himself in the street because he was dying. And that's what hit home. It was just, you could not take that away. You just like you said, you couldn't unsee it. A lot of people still can't unsee that. It was an older black man. And what's happening is it created a lot of people that are now suffering with mental illness, all sorts of phobias and things behind this, because that man said, I can't really sleep at night because all I could do, I feel like I should have done more, but I was too afraid to lose my life to help somebody. And that's how people are feeling. I think what this did, this made people feel helpless, because just think about it. If it was you, the right thing would have been to attack this man and get him off of him. But it's the police. So what do? So you're too afraid to help somebody, so you watch him die.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all saw it, the case in New York, all the Asian people that are getting attacked.
Yes.
Right now.
Yes.
The the doorman at one of the hotels or one of the apartment buildings where they saw the Asian lady getting attacked outside, it was on camera. They waited. They didn't do anything. She got assaulted. But after the person that assaulted her left, they ran out and helped her. And apparently there's some type of law in New York if you don't help somebody.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's a law. That's even
It may be a lot of places, and it may be on different levels.
That's here in
It
Texas
is.
too.
But they fired both. I think they fired both of them.
Well, like here in Texas, for sure, I do know. So that's why you have a lot of people that are in the medical field that does not speak that they're in the medical field. Because if they do not stop and render aid, then they can lose their license. They're subject to lawsuit. They're subject to a whole slew of things. That's like me as a respiratory therapist. Yeah, I went to school, got the license. So I'm held to a certain level of accountability from the next person. Same thing with like the concealed handgun license. That's why so many people did not want the concealed handgun license, because once you get that license, you're stating that you understand Texas gun laws. And so now you're held to a certain different level caliber of responsibility versus me. I don't have no license. I didn't know. So I was still self-defense. I can slide through that better, but if you have that license, you can't handle self-defense, because you're supposed, when you got that license, you said you knew and understood it.
This is my take on it. I know it's different from, I do understand the uproar about the situation, about it, foot on the neck, this, that, and killed and stuff. And I'm numb. People protesting and outrage is like white noise to me now.
And why is that?
This same shit been going on since the beginning of time. This same shit will be going on from our grandkids, great-grandkids, next 4-5 generations. And it's not going nowhere. I'm like, get used to it and just start.
Get used to
I'm
it.
just straight up. It's about retaliating.
Well,
I'm just saying, I'm telling you, let me finish. Next year, the same situation gonna happen. 5 years from now, the same situation gonna happen. It's gonna be 3 more people like us sitting on the damn radio show talking about the same shit. 20 years from now, the same shit is gonna happen. Why? Because we are black. You can protest, cry, sing kumbaya to the end of fucking time. We are niggas. Wait, I ain't done.
Hold up.
Go ahead. I'm not saying nothing. I'm letting you have your say.
And that's the way this fucking world works when it comes to niggas. Niggas are passive. We protest. We don't take action. Our action is sitting out there with some damn signs and Al Sharpton and what's her name with that nappy ass hair from here standing on side of the shit. And in 3 years it's gonna be the same shit. What's her name?
No, he said, I don't know.
Who?
The congressman here.
You Sheila Jackson Lee?
It's gonna be the same shit in 5 years.
Ooh.
Sheila Jackson Lee gonna be on side of Al Sharpton if he not dead, or some other leaders. All this shit for 10 years from now, it's gonna be some other leader on side of somebody else doing the same shit because that's all we do. Oh, let's vote. We can vote our ass off. After this next 4 years, it's gonna be a Republican back in office. It's gonna be the same shit. It's about money and taking power and taking charge.
Okay, but that boy, I get what you're saying, but that goes. Come on.
I'm not
Oh, okay. Come on with your shenanigans. Come on with it.
shenanigans.
Come on with it.
I'm just saying.
Come on with your shenanigans.
Look at the pattern. Who did last year? Last year who died? What's her name?
Breonna Taylor.
Year before last, who died?
Well, it's not even
Sandra
about
Bland.
that.
Year before that, who died?
We already know that.
It's the
people-
same old song. Wait,
I didn't say anything.
it's the same old song. Until we stop doing the same old song shit, only people do the same old song is niggas, black people.
Okay, what would you suggest that would either make you feel better or you think that would straighten some of this out?
Start taking some lives.
Oh, hell, get no. Because we're going to Tlakas Tavern does not support the statement. Let me clear this up real quick because
I'm just saying.
Tlakas Tavern, aka
The views expressed.
Look,
Not those of Love the Jam Radio.
Look, Ramona Hodge, aka Faces, then whatever else you want to call me, that bitch does not support the statement. It was just made.
I'm just saying.
I love my coworker to death, but I do not support this statement.
They have people sitting in their big home.
Don't come looking for me.
I'm not through. I'm not through.
Okay,
I'm not through.
Go
They
ahead.
got people in these big homes, this and that, white folks. They laugh and they like, they gonna do the same old shit. We'll be past this in 3 months. Some new record gonna come out or some shit gonna come out. They gonna feed them a new dance. Cardi B gonna shake her ass or some shit on the TV next month, and we gonna forgot all about this shit.
Well, finish your statement. Wrap your statement.
I'm done.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Because
I'm just saying.
no,
And see what you're doing right now? You scared right now just because I said that.
I'm not scared, but my thing is,
Niggas turn the other cheek too damn much.
Well, no, I don't turn them. I'm believing turn the other cheek because if you come after me,
I'm not saying you.
Hold on.
I'm talking about collectively as black
Let
people.
me finish.
Turn the other cheek. Let's pray on it.
Hold on. That's what we're here talking about. That's not true. I'm gonna say this. Just because we're not out here acting like some of these vigilantes with all of these bunkers and guns and all that, we find different ways of taking care and handling things ourselves. Hold on, like you did me.
Better be ready.
Let me say this.
You better get you a bunker.
My thing is,
she better get a bunker and some guns.
And who says I don't have it? You don't know. It ain't for everybody to know what I have. Because if you know, then you know who to come for. Ain't no whatever I got is my business. You'll find out if you try me. That's all I'm saying on that. But what I'm saying is,
the cycle is a lot.
Pew pew.
That's all right. That's all right. Hey, I'm just saying. What I'm saying is, though, change comes from education, and it's not about turning the other cheek and none of this other stuff. It's about changing mentality, and that goes back to the shit I said. Oh, you can take it how you want to, but it goes back to what I said about us as Black people learning how to be parents, learning is taking responsibility of our households and our family and raising our kids, because that's where the disconnect comes in. Our kids don't understand and don't recognize this because a lot of them haven't been taught. They see this, they feel like they're in survival mode against everybody. They live in the hood, so they fighting the niggas next door to them. So you think they worried about fighting some damn white people? They trying to survive. It all goes back to taking care of our families, taking care of our households, raising our men men because we are not doing that, and our men do not know how to be men, and raising our women how to be young women or whatever they are in between. Right now, our society is a society of anything that fucking goes. Right now, you can line up 10, and I did it. I've been doing this shit for like a month, taking surveys just to see,
You've been doing what?
Hold on. I've been doing surveys, just straight surveys from teenagers, random strangers, just to see where people are mentally about just basic things that we take for granted. We take for granted that a man is a man, a young man wants to be a man, a woman wants to be a woman, that these people have goals. And our kids, our black kids are so, excuse my language, so fucking confused. Half of them don't know it's the trend now. So they're not boys, they're not girls. Everybody's into this fluidity shit, pan, whatever they want to call it.
Pansexual.
Pansexual.
Will,
Okay.
she lost me.
No. This goes back to you talking about people being afraid. Hold on, let me say, to from that to half of them don't graduate from high school because they dropped out because they trying to survive. All they have is 10th grade, 11th grade education. Don't know nothing other than Burger King and survival. So they see this George Floyd, they see all of this, but they can't even wrap their brains around that because they're just trying to barely survive because they have no upbringing. They have no guidance. They have no foundation. And we cannot expect, no, seriously, real talk. We cannot expect to change until we start taking care of our families and start building back foundations and building up responsible adults, teaching them how to, everybody don't have to go to college. We were that generation, go to college. You have to have a college degree in order to survive. I'm not even pushing college that hard no more. I'm pushing trades on our kids because I was that parent in the early 2000s. The school district, I still have right now stuff going on with HISD 20 years like because I needed for them to understand why my son couldn't do a trade, get his associate's degree.
What does all this have to do with fighting back?
Because we don't know how to fight back. It's coming full circle. What does it have to do with fighting back? You can't fight back if you don't know about the Bible.
You sound like the preacher saying turn another cheek. That's
not turning another cheek.
You wasn't talking about education and this. We talk about white folks killing us. So you talk about
because
you got to talk about.
How can we be concerned about the white folks killing us when we got to worry about our neighbor next door shooting our ass? I can't be worried about the white man killing somebody in a whole nother goddamn state. I'm worried about the nigga next door that's trying to rob me and trying to kill me. And in order to prevent that shit from happening, you have to take back your homes and raise your damn kids.
You need to worry about him first. The nigga gonna be a nigga. You need to worry about that white man.
Well, I ain't worried about. No, that's the whole point. That's the mentality right there. A nigga gonna be a nigga. That's the mentality.
You need to worry about getting killed. Watching your back.
And I think you ended yours on, not only worry about the white man, but you got to worry about yourself and take care of yourself. As I think I'm probably older than each one of you.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, shit, you can be the old man. I'm good.
No. But
I gotta turn my camera.
Hello.
There you go.
My parents, my dad was raised in Mississippi during segregation.
Yeah.
Mom was raised in Alabama.
So
you know what they had to grow up to. You know what they had to grow up to.
Right.
My dad, till this day, always tells me, he said, my dad said he had a lot of fun when he was growing up. I said, you grew up in Mississippi.
How many college degrees in your family?
4.
Everybody, mom, dad, everybody at home, right?
Yeah, I didn't. I was the.
No, I'm just talking. I'm just talking about the foundation. She going back to the foundation shit.
Yeah.
All that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Same shit going on.
That's what I'm trying to.
No, it's not. Do you know who your father is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, but how many of them now though? We don't. Shit, half the kids don't even know who their daddy is.
My point is,
they got 3.
It don't matter if they got 7 daddies. It's not about 7 daddies. It's about black people taking charge of their lives. It ain't
Do you think we would be, as a people, better off if we were still segregated from white folk? Do you think we should have taken our shit over there? What are we gonna do?
It's not about segregation.
No, but it has something to do with what we're talking about. Right
It's not about segregation. It's about being in control of our lives.
Nobody's in control of their life.
No, let me finish, soul sister. It's about being in control of our lives. When I say that, it's about economics.
Okay.
Wait.
That goes back to what I said.
Well, listen to this part. Remember Rosewood? Remember Tulsa?
Yeah.
We always broke off somewhere else and had them, but the white man came in
and destroyed it.
and destroyed it.
Freemanstown right here in Houston.
Yeah.
And the same thing.
Now, I don't know if y'all see that.
That's my whole
case right now in California where a black family is probably going to get back
all that land.
Beach. They had
the biggest.
Yes.
And it was taken from them.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how that was all done.
Yes.
You know, every time we either talk about it or read about it, or it was erased in books. That's been going on for forever.
Right. It's still going on now. It's going on now in the form of delinquent taxes.
Yeah. That's one I will take advantage of, especially over white folk. I do go to the auction.
Yeah, and so, but so that's one of the things. I know people were they laughing at me about this one. I say y'all bullshitting, but I'm gonna find a way to make this happen. One of the things I want to do with saving minds is because I went through some of the process of some of this stuff, and I watch how. Just me because at one time my mom's house was in probate, so I'm not paying anything till we wrap all this up. Once we got everything together, then it was like, okay, so I had the money to pay the taxes. It was like right at $6,000 worth of taxes, but I had almost $8,000 in interest. I owed more in interest than I did in the damn taxes. The only thing, thank God, I'm resourceful. So I was able to save my property. So one of the things I want to do with saving mines is like these senior citizens. It hurt me to my heart, and I just didn't know what to do. I felt so bad for this lady. This lady said she had been in her home for 65 years. She birthed her children there. Her grandchildren was born there, and she paid for her house while they taking her house. And they came and they took that lady. That lady was in her late 80s. Took her house on taxes, and it wasn't that bad. It was like right at maybe $6,000 worth of taxes.
Yeah, I mean,
but she didn't have anybody to come up with that money.
Especially out in Waller County out there, before in the early '80s, a lot of stuff was done just paperwork. It took a long time for you to catch up with it.
Right
now, you have outside law firms that do it.
Yes. Oh, you got to pay those fees too.
Yeah.
So you got to pay the interest. The interest is double of what the taxes is.
And it's computerized, so they know. No. I mean, like you said, a $6,000 tax bill that used to be able to go. That could go on 12 years. Yes.
No. Anybody that's on with these grandmas and pawpaw houses and their parents' homes, they're not giving you all that time. They're giving you 2-3 years max.
And most of the time, the houses are somewhere where it's already some gentrification going on.
Yes.
They go in and they point out which ones they want.
Which ones they want, and they scooping them up. That's what's happening in Studewood right now too, because they're trying to turn Studewood into the new, Memorial area. That's why a lot of people don't realize they didn't rebuild Booker T. Washington because they wanted to rebuild the Black Historic School. They built that school when they redid Booker T. They threw away all the history. I took that kind of person because my mom, my uncle, I'm the only one that was a renegade that didn't do it, but all of my kids. So we have like 2 or 3 generations that walked those halls and graduated from Booker T. Washington. They just dumped all band uniforms, books, the brick, all they just dumped it, just threw it away. So if they was truly interested in saving some of their history, they would have did a little bit better with that. But that's where because Memorials, their schools are overpopulated. So that's why they're rebuilding these schools over in the Heights and Studewood. They moving that way.
Yo, I mean, what does all this got to do with black folks saying "Kumbaya" too much?
It's not about black folks saying. It's not about black folks saying.
Y'all lost me for about 3 minutes.
It's not about black folks saying "Kumbaya."
Look,
you laughing. They lost the shit out of me.
You laughing and playing, but you know it's all connected.
I know it's all connected, but y'all still lost the hell out of me.
No, because the thing about it is, it's not about black folks saying "Kumbaya."
I was trying to stay mad, and y'all got to talking about.
Because you can't stay mad about
Washington.
You can't stay mad about some shit.
Okay, well, go back to my question I asked you. Do you think we would be better off if we were separate and apart from white folk right now in 2021?
Yep. It's not being separate off. We can do our own thing.
No.
Let me tell you why.
No, you said
no, we can't.
Oh, we can be separate.
You just said we didn't have
We can be
nothing.
separate. Let me explain. We scared to be separate. Okay. I ride around the city. I'm gonna give you the whole picture. I ride around the city in the area in Texas all day long.
All right.
Right? And when it comes to businesses and separation of races, I can go to Chinatown. They ain't gotta fuck with us. They can do all their business with themselves. I can go to anywhere in Houston. They got sales and sales and sales of Spanish people who ain't gotta go to Kroger. They don't have to go to HEB. They don't have to do none of that shit. They can do all that shit within a 5-mile radius. Everybody do that, but who?
Okay, when you finish,
You asked me, could we separate? We could.
But when you finish, let me know, because I'm gonna blow your mind with what I'm gonna tell you why that is and why it's so hard for us.
I already know. You don't have to blow my mind.
So
I know your answer.
What's
You
his
don't
answer?
have to blow my mind.
Because I
They
want to
stick together and do business with them shit. They have their banks.
It's not even about that. They can get special funding
No,
and all kind of money and
Oh.
shit that we can't even get. Go ahead.
Let him finish, and then I'll go.
No, I'm just. I can go to all over Houston, Texas, everywhere, and it's sales and sales and sales of other
Did you
people.
know that people, that immigrants get, like we got that little $1,500? Did you know that immigrants are getting, what was that big, huge stimulus? What is it, like $6,000, $7,000, $8,000?
Wait. For
A stimulus that they're trying to pass this stimulus.
You talking about this
Spanish
administration?
Yes.
people don't get all that. I'm
They
going
getting it now.
we getting it. I ain't gonna say
No,
his name. I got a partner ain't worked in a year getting the damn stimulus. So it's not about
no. It's a
so-
different type of stimulus.
You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. I'm gonna say
He getting the
this.
same hook
No,
up
we're
they
not.
did.
No, we're not. No, we're not. Hold on. We got a $600 or a $1,200 stimulus versus a $6,000 stimulus.
But that goes back to they know how to do it and they know how to take advantage of it. We don't. It's about what we do wrong. It ain't about they doing something right. They not giving it to us because we don't want
qualify for it.
But we do. They know how to qualify for it, and we do too.
It was created specifically for them. We don't even qualify for these
But like I
services.
said, he asked me, could we do segregation? And my answer was yes, and I gave you an example.
Okay.
Well, let me
A perfect example.
Okay.
Where you shop at? Mi tienda.
That's
What?
HEB. That's
I don't just say.
It's still HEB.
I'm
Mi
like,
tienda and HEB is the same thing.
Like, where you at? Oh, I'm in Mi tienda. Getting some millings.
Hey, man.
Okay.
HEB
Mi
got some
tienda
good
is
shit.
still
We got a
HEB.
shop.
Hey,
But
look.
I'm just saying, they still do their shit together.
But seriously, okay. And I asked you about separation and why it's so hard. You say if the Koreans can do it, the Asian people can do it, and it seems like
They can.
it works for them.
Yeah.
The reason why it was so hard on us, and it's still so hard on us, is back in I think the late 40s, early 50s, when they started building the interstate for the United States to cross it.
I believe it will. I understand that, but
No, hold on. Let him talk.
I disagree with all that old school shit he finna
No.
tell me. I'm gonna let him finish
Okay.
though.
This is literally still rooted. And when I get to the end of it, you'll see what I'm talking about. When those interstates went through,
Mhm.
they specifically targeted black areas of commerce because that's where the cheapest land were, and that's where they could just take something.
I agree with that. Yeah,
And that's why all of us lost so much land.
I
in
agree
America.
with that. I totally agree.
So just think about how it started. It just went from the East Coast, and they just built all the way to the West Coast.
I agree with all that. I
And
totally
every
agree.
place where a interstate or a major crossing or something, it took out a black town. It took out black commerce.
I'm gonna tell y'all what I'm talking. Wait,
but
this is my
hold on,
last
but-
thing on this, and
hold
we go to
on,
the next
hold
subject.
Okay.
Lovey, how long we got before we go to break?
We're gonna go to break in about a few minutes. We got one by like 3 minutes. Go ahead, Will. Let him say his statement, and then we gonna go to break.
How long we got?
I mean, we
Say
passed already.
Okay.
Yeah,
About 5
yeah.
minutes.
Oh,
So.
get that last statement out. We're gonna go to break.
That's what you see what's going on with where they're trying to reroute 45 now.
Exactly. Through my grandmother's house, Studewood. all of that area across their bio that they trying to buy everybody out for $20,000-$30,000, and that land is worth 100 plus.
And 45, where Scott Street is.
Which is wild.
They cut
yes.
they cut them right in half.
They did.
Boy.
I watched when they did that. That was almost like 10 years ago, and they still not through with Scott. They don't have all of their, but they're trying to take over all of their ward.
A stadium or some type of venue is built, you go to a black neighbor, you find the cheapest land, and you put it out. Look at RFK Stadium in DC, one of the worst areas in the world.
When we get back from
But
break.
hold on, I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna go to break too. Not only that, I had a friend, a Hispanic coworker, that bought a split of land. I'm like about her 2 acres in the hood, and sat there and built this nice, was right outside the hood, nice ass house. The house was valued. It was split in all of these architectural magazines and all of this stuff. House was valued at $2.7 million. She built the house for a little under 100 because a lot of stuff came from Rhode Island and all stuff came from Mexico. They ended up taxing her out of her home within 5 years.
I got a story at the break. I'm gonna tell y'all. I wish I could now, but I'm gonna tell you at the break, and it will end this whole discussion. We will go on to something else. It's break time. www.lovetojamradio.com. We are OWT. That's the ghetto word for out.